just don't record. Oh, okay, now we're on. Hello. It's group 14.
Oh my gosh.
Breeze here.
Hello,
Yeah.
we're here too. Everyone's here.
Rachel. Yep.
Yep. All here. Oy vey. Okay. Now that we're recording. For 3. We got the third one. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Okay, and then 4, residual. This one is another one that's taken exactly from the reading.
Yeah.
Yes,
So it's
The
the third one as
the
well.
third one.
Yeah. There's a difference between the observed Y value and the predicted Y. So it's like, I don't really get exactly what that means. I'm assuming like what you would expect once you do the whole formula, what you would expect to get. I don't know. Just don't listen to me.
It's just in the reading. I don't know. I don't really know what it means either, but
No. It's a little
just said what it
confusing.
was, I guess.
Yeah. And then this one, a plot of residual supports using linear regression. This one was a little confusing to me because it's like when it supports linear regression, it means like they're all over the place. Like there's no pattern to it, but it says when they look normally distributed.
Mm.
That's what it comes out to be. And so I'm thinking,
Is it when the dots are kind of spread out?
I guess, because like it says like here, like when they're in the megaphone shape, they're not. When they're in a line, it doesn't fit it. I'm trying to find it real quick. 1 second.
That's in the hot dog shape.
Yeah. And so it's like you have to remember all the dang shapes. Very well. Before I take this quiz, remember what shape is what and what it means.
Is that a megaphone or is that a hot dog?
Yeah. Like, I don't know. The thing is, like, they don't show you a shape of a megaphone shape, so, like, I don't even know what a freaking megaphone shape graph would look like.
Yeah.
They should call it a traffic
So I'm, like,
graph or
hoping.
something that still exists.
Yeah. Okay, so, like, yeah, here's this one. I'm just going to now so I know to put it on my thing. So, where did it go? Oh, yeah. Okay, but essentially it's just saying when it's, because it's not when they're all positive, and it's not when they see the megaphone, and there's no pattern, so that would just be having it. And then 6, complete the residual for the data using software. Which statement best describes the residuals? Do you want me to do screen share so you can see it on SPSS too?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Sure.
Okie doke. So let me do screen share.
I probably won't use SPSS, but
I know, I don't know, like, which one's better. Sometimes one works a little easier,
yeah.
and then sometimes it, like, I need this to go away. Math self. Okay, so you open it up, you analyze, regression, linear, and I forgot, what is it asking for? Oh, residuals. Ooh, I forgot. Which one is it? There's like a few different, oh, hold on, I think I know. A lot of steps. So I always have to like go back. Okay, so like you put in your X and your Y value. If you want a confidence interval, you'd click on statistics, then click on confidence interval, because that's pretty easy. But then if you want the residuals, I believe you push save, residuals unstandardized. And then I can get rid of that. Then click continue, then click OK. It gives you all of these. So what you would normally use is this box, and it would ask you like, that one would be your
E.
I think this is your slope, and that one is your y-intercept. But you're asking for residuals, and so it's this one. So, no, something is different. Gosh dang it. I had like the same problem so many freaking times. Math self-efficacy. Oh, okay. See, I wasn't even in the right one. Never mind. Regression, linear. Then I put in the X and Y. Then I click the save. I want unstandardized residuals. And it'll pop up in a second. And here it is. Okay, so it's -38 to 23. So if you go back to the quiz, then it asks complete the residuals for the software. It says the residuals are between -40 and 25.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sort of.
It's like really it's only because I'm not even joking. It makes sense now that I've done it, but like the first time I took the quiz I didn't do well. It's because it was like so confusing. So I don't know. I
Yeah.
think it's easier on Excel. That's kind of my thought process. So
Yeah.
hopefully, but like sometimes you don't like there's not like Excel files for those ones, on the test. So then it'd be like, oh well then I kind of need to.
Know how.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Mhm. But the instructions are relatively clear on there. And then you have to make a QQ plot. Super fun.
huh. Click a button.
And I don't know. Do you want me to show that one again?
Just show us the QQ plot, or
I don't think it's kind of easy though. It's just
Yeah.
how we made it before. And for mine, I don't know what you guys got. Have you guys got it?
so. Okay.
Can you do that on Excel? A QQ plot?
I've never done it, but I'm sure there's a way.
Called something else. Isn't it?
What was that?
I think it's called something else on Excel.
I
Um,
don't remember what it's called, but you can do it.
okay. Well, when they come up, they're all in a relatively straight line, so it'd have to be they're fairly normal. So just the distinguishing factors. Residual plots should be all over the place.
Mhm.
QQ plots should be in a straight line.
Okay.
And then the linear ones, the hot dog shape, if it's the hamburger shape, if it's all those ones. So,
All right.
because yeah, it asks, given the scatter plot, residual plot, and QQ plot, what are the 5 assumptions about the linear regression are satisfied by this data? So since they're like sporadically placed, they're obviously the linear relationship between X and Y.
Mm-hmm.
And then the variance of the error term is constant for all the X values.
Yeah.
I believe the error term is residuals. So that's why I'm thinking they're all constant.
Mhm.
And then the residuals are normally distributed, yeah, because they're all over the place. But then the X values are measured without error. That's not true because there was obviously residual plot. And then the observations are independent. No, because you have a dependent and independent variable. So, yeah.
Um,
And then the fun part that I messed up on so much. It's really quite easy, but what is B1? The estimated slope. You want me to show you that one on SPSS?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
that sounds good.
Doable. Okay. No, that's so weird. It's huge. Spaces. Oh no, you can just go. Okay, so back to where it was. That was the residual one. Now you want this one. Oh no, is this different data? Are we using the same data?
And what question is it for?
9.
9. 9. Sorry.
Is it still for math self-efficacy?
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Am I on the right quiz?
Yes, we are. Okay. So this one, ingrain it in your brain because I always select the wrong one. So B1. So your B1, so your slope is always the bottom one. Your constant, which you'd think your constant is your slope, but no, it's your y-intercept is this top one. So it's asking for what is your B1? 12.6595. And that's just putting in what we already had. And then it'll ask, like, what's the constant, blah, blah, blah. Because they never ask standard error, but they'll ask what's your sigma, and they'll ask your lower bound and upper bound, but you have to make sure you choose the correct one. Because, yeah, I did the homework, and I messed so many, and I messed them up the second time, and I still can't finish. So, it's, like, going to bother me for the rest of the day. So, yeah. Yeah, and then the lower bound and upper bound, because they're still talking about the slope. Is that? But usually they're not talking about the slope, so they're always talking about the top one. But if they're talking about the slope, then it would be the lower bound would be 10.674, the upper bound would be 14.715. And that's just because you don't have to have like residuals or anything. That's just, again, it's the analyze, regression, linear. And you put in your y and your x and you press OK. That's all you do. And yeah.
Okay.
And upper bound, lower bound. And yeah.
The third one.
I feel like you're doing all the work. I feel like you're doing all the work.
Girl, there's no work to it. That's the problem. You give me the file and you click 3 buttons, and then you're like, "Well, there's my answers." Like, there's literally no like by hand or anything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But what question are we on now?
10?
10.
Or did we put the lower bound, upper bound? And
Yeah,
then,
I found that on SPSS.
okay.
So I found the lower bound to be 10.674. And then I found the upper bound to be 14.715. And then I wanted to see if like, it's like I tried it on Excel too, but like, I feel like the only problem is if you like make even like the slightest error in selecting a cell, it's like off.
Mm-hmm.
And I've made that error. Do you know what I mean?
Yep. Or it just doesn't process it.
Yeah. But you can use the quantitative inferential procedures Excel sheet. And that's a little bit, I guess it's just, I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know. I find this just a little bit more confusing. But then again, it does show your graph right there. So that's kind of nice.
All right, and 12 was the third one.
Yeah, reject the null
Yeah.
hypothesis test.
Yeah, because the p-value is 0.000.
Mm.
On 13,
And then
there's sufficient evidence to conclude the slope of the regression line is not 0.
Yes.
So the fourth one.
Mm-hmm. And then in this one, I did it backwards at first because it says head length was used to predict body length. I didn't see that little side note because I was thinking obviously the body length predicts head length, but no, head length predicts your body length for this crocodile. So your dependent would be body length. It's dependent on the head length.
Yeah. The head thing sticking out of the water. So they go, okay, that's
So it's like if you grow a massive head, your body will follow. I thought it would be like opposite.
I don't know. I mean, I've got a pretty big head. Pretty big body.
You know, because the babies, they just start out with their normal size head and their body grows to like, I think it's so weird.
It was a fun little
Sorry.
Rachel,
Oh, I didn't see it the first time.
Okay.
Do it again.
can you do that again?
No. I was just picturing a T-Rex like.
All right.
Giant head. Okay.
You guys told me.
15 is 0.443.
What was that?
15 should be 0.443.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So that one, you just add the upper and lower bound, divide them by 2, and then take like the upper bound and subtract whatever you got, and you'll get it. Or get the lower bound and add whatever you got.
Yeah.
Oh.
So 16 is just 7.000.
16.
Mhm.
See, this is the weird thing. On SPSS, you get 7.218, but on Excel, you get 7. So either one works, I guess.
Yeah,
It
that's
takes
fair.
both of them. And then 17, did you get 8.103?
Yeah.
And based on this, we are 95% confident that the confidence interval contains the true values of the slope.
For the first one.
Sweet.
And that's it.
Alright.
And then there's nothing, there's like only like those, whatever quizzes. How'd the class go quizzes?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
I
hey,
shall end the
Rachel.
broadcast. But I'll still keep talking because I can still keep talking. I can just end the broadcast. Yeah, bye.